Oh, we lost the treasure. We left it back there. We ain't leaving that behind. That's too nice. Face right down. Staying real low, walking slow. I got another one right over here in the gravel. There he goes right there. You can see how the concentrated stone. It's a native woman. But here's what I'm talking about. This is really, really nice. I got something nice laying out over here. You ain't gonna believe this. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? I slipped that in on you. Welcome back to Clegg's Adventures. We're down here on the river again. If you're new to the channel, my name's Scott. I'm your host. We're going to be looking for artifacts, treasures, antiques, anything of value here on the Ohio River in northern West Virginia. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks because I know people in my comments have said I'm still looking for my first artifact. I'm still looking for my first river treasure. So stick with me. If you use these methods, these techniques, I guarantee you'll come out of here with something where you live along a river bank. Tip number one, always look banks like this. If it doesn't have a bank like this, you're kind of wasting your time if it's not cut out like this. You can see where the water in the floods has come up and eroded all this material, and this flat land up above has just collapsed and collapsed. And in these earth layers are time periods, and the deeper you go, the older it gets. So if you have a high bank, then there's a possibility of some older stuff. Always look where the gullies and the rain have washed these gullies out here. As you can see, this right in between this sand, you see this gully right here where the rain has rinsed all this gravel. Start looking in these gullies because you start to see things. There's flint laying. Here's a little piece of flint, and this was in tool production or arrowhead production where they've knocked the flint off of it to make tools. So you want to look all these little areas like this. Right here's a piece of flint. There's a lot of flint in here, which is a good sign that people were making tools right here thousands of years back. Right there's another piece. Here's a huge piece. So you want to look these areas, these gullies where the rain has washed all this sand off of the gravel. And look up here, I've got two less than 2 feet apart. Check this out. Right here's one. Now I don't know if it's a blunt or if it's broken. It's broken off the top. Hard to tell what kind of point it was. Probably a middle archaic point, 5,000 years old probably. It's an old break. It was broken a long time ago, and you can tell by feeling the edges of where it was broken off. If it's really sharp, it was probably a newer break. Right in the wash. It's a stem point. I can see the stem. Let's pull it out of here. It looks like an Adena. Now this is a newer point than what we just picked up. It's made out of Crooksville chert from Ohio, and that's probably, I'm going to estimate 100 miles from here. These folks traveled a long ways to get these materials to make this stuff. This was probably a little knife, an Adena knife, maybe, I'm going to say a couple of thousand years old, 2,500 years old. But still a very nice find. Very nice find right there. On with the show. Here's an omen that we're finding something nice today. Look at this. It's a native woman. We're on another beach now, and here's another tip. Walk slow. Don't walk like looking around, just walking along. You have to walk slow to find this stuff. Some of these things are very, very small. Okay, I had to come back and get my camera. I got something nice laying out over here. You ain't gonna believe this. But look it up here. Look at this. There's an old homestead that comes out in here. I found old, really old bottles, old crock shards. There's a lot of old pottery comes out. But look at this. Just laying out here. Already cleaned and dried. It's a little, like, tea kettle. The handle's broken off right here. You can see the handle would have been right on this side here and probably come out like this. It's made out of copper. That's pretty cool. Shine that up. All handmade, probably. Soldered together. Hey, Mammy, pour me another cup of coffee. But down here, you got to see this. It's not too far, just right here by this tree. Laying flat out. The water came up last night a little bit, like 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and now it's on its way down. And it's fanning all this stuff out. These beaches look really, really nice. I mean, you could see all this gravel. Normally before, this is all just sand. But you can see what's down in the sand now. There's artifacts and everything down in here. This isn't an artifact, but it is nice. Tell me if you see this. Laying flat out. Well, not flat out, but pretty good. It's an infantry badge with an L on it. I don't know if this is World War I or World War II era, but it looks old. Let's pick it up. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Look at this. It still has the shank on the back. It's all corroded to it. The fastener's all corroded to it. Very nice. It's a little worn, but it's definitely an infantry badge. Very cool. Very cool. Nice. Get out of here. Goofy bird tried to attack me. Like a baby hawk or something. Or a swift. Oh! Oh! We lost the treasure! We left it back there! Well, we gotta go get it. I don't care, bird or no bird. We ain't leaving that behind. That's too nice. There he goes, right there. Son of a gun tried to attack me. All right, let's get this thing, get out of here. Oh, he's circling around. He's circling around. Okay, where is it? Right here. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Got it. Get out! Get out! Okay, we got it. We're out of the bird attack area, out of the war zone. Let's go check this thing out. Very nice. Okay, I've identified the badge. It's a collar badge. Would have gone on a uniform. It's World War I era, 83rd Infantry Division, Lima Company. And I looked it up, and you ain't gonna believe this. They had a picture, if you can see this on camera, I'll put it up at the closing music, of Lima Company, 1918, World War I. So one of these guys in this picture is probably wearing this badge right here. Probably lived in the area, came home, all of his uniforms got thrown away and rotted away, except the metal parts. Very cool, very cool. Very nice find for the day. Let's get back on the hunt. Days are short. I'm walking these gravel washes. There's a lot of sand rinsed off this gravel, and I saw something right here. I was like, Clovis, immediately, Clovis. But I picked it up, it's not, but it's right over here. I put it back the way I saw it, just to see how you can think I thought it was a Clovis. Look at this. Oh man, I saw the base right there. Curvature of that base when I picked it up. It's a broken piece, I don't know. I at first thought that was a Clovis preform of some sort. It's got a concave base like that. It's kind of clunky, but maybe they broke it while they were making it. But the cool thing about this item here is where it's broken there, you can get a hold of it, and they have worked it real fine chipping on this side down around this concave base to use it like a scraper, maybe a shaft scraper. Well, that is a really cool little repurposed tool right there. Maybe from a paleo point 12,000 years ago. I don't know. Nobody will know for sure now, but it was repurposed as a scraper. Very cool little find. I also found this broken one laying back there in the wash. The tip's broken off. It's very thin, unifaced on the back. It looks like they just knocked a flake off a spall and then worked one side of it. We're still looking, on with the show again. I was going to head up the beach a little ways. I know a good place up there that I found some bottles, some old relics, and that coin that was hand engraved. You might want to check that one out. It's a few videos back. See if we can find something else. Check this out. Something's got a trail worn up over the hill. They've been sliding down this baby. Look at that. It's like a groove up through there. Probably a bunch of beavers going up and down here. Okay, I got something very nice. Had to go back and get my camera. You start just carrying it with me instead of leaving it at the boat. It's right up here. Actually, I got two things. Here's one. It's not old. What, 30, 35 maybe? 35 years old? Look at this. I picked it up already. Here's how I found it, right here in the wash. Some of the gold gild's worn off of it. It's a senior pendant, high school senior pendant from 1985. It's all there, the chain's gone. It's hard to tell what happened to that. It's probably why they lost it, the chain broke. Or the little clasp to the chain broke. This is a local high school, a couple miles up the river. Magnolia High School, class of 85. I have your pendant. But here's what I'm talking about. This is really, really nice. Right by this old jug. I kept that as a marker right up here. It is, as far as I can tell, unbroken. Also, you tell me if you can see this. It's got to be 200 years old. Unbroken. There was people lived here for a long time. How is it unbroken, these gravels? There's got to be stuff under just washing out of this dirt. But look at this. I've already taken a picture. Let's pick it up. Oh, hold on. It's full of mud. Let me go rinse it out. Have to get a little stick or something. Oh, the bowl's fairly clean. It's got some mud in the bottom. I don't want to break it. I don't know how fragile this stuff is. Oh, it's got a little chip right here. on the top. Hey, that's very minute for a clay pipe. It's all plugged up in the end. Maybe we can get a little... Wow, that's solid in there. Maybe we can get a little pick or a toothpick and dig that out. Very nice find. Very nice find. Here's another tip for you. Stay out of the burrs. They get all over your boots. No, but here's a good tip. Get as low to the ground as you possibly can. If you're, say, 6 foot tall and you're looking down, that's a long distance from the ground. If you can get halfway, if your back will allow it, mine doesn't allow it so much, but get as close as you can. Get your face right down there. Closer you get, better chance you have. Case in point, look at this. Now I'm going to take you really close and tell me if you would have seen this standing at a 6 foot distance. I'm going to get you right now, you're at a foot. Look at this, do you see it? It's broken, but I wouldn't have seen it unless I was bending down. Yeah, it looks like probably a table rock point made out of a local chert. Just a local river flint broken right across the top. Okay, when I say local river chert, this is what I'm talking about. A stone like this, very glassy cortex on it, black, sometimes they're caramel colored, mostly here on the Ohio River. But what they would have done was take a large hammer stone and knock a spall and try to get a nice flake off that to make something out of. They would have gotten a larger stone like this hard stone here first to use as a hammer stone initial, a big one to knock a big spall off. After they got a piece off like this, they would have taken a smaller hammer stone and worked this round and round into a point, taking flake by flake, and that's what those flakes are that we're finding on the beach. When I say here's a flake, there's a flake, they're just debutage knocked off while making a point. Until you had a point worked down like this, so you could use it as a tool or shoot a deer. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? I slipped that in on you. Actually, I found this about half an hour ago just up the beach. It's a very nice one. Staying real low, walking slow. I got another one right over here in the gravel. Looks pretty nice. Let's check and see what we got. Can you see it right there? I see a stem right here sticking out, notched up. I'm gonna get a picture of this and be right back. Okay, let's pick this up. It's nice picking them up in the dry gravel. They're already cleaned off. Yeah, it's not bad. It's got a little side damage here, probably from gravel again, you know. I doubt that was done while it was being used or thrown. And this is a small stem point. You see how narrow this stem is? There's a reason for that. The guy that invented this was a genius of his time. See, now with this point and this very small stem, the reason for this small stem was when this was hafted in a dart. This wasn't an arrowhead point, this was a dart point. Darts were a lot longer and thrown with atlatls. Arrows were shot with a bow. This was a dart point. This would have been hafted in the end of a dart and then fixed on there. When they would throw this, if it hit anything hard, bone, or they missed and hit a tree, unlike a point like this, which we just found a little bit ago, with this heavy base, it'll snap it right there almost every time, right across the middle. Now this point's useless. They have no use for this point anymore, so they discard it. But this point, this guy was an engineering genius of his time. He made this stem really small. It's a very weak point right here. when they would throw this point, if it hit anything hard or any damage was done to it, 99% of the time, it just snapped the stem off. Then they would use the dart again, pick the old piece of stem out of there, and instead of sharpening the point from the front back like normal, they would work it from the back to the front and just make a new stem on there and stick it back in the shaft where they could use the point over and over and over again. It was like a default break area right here. Just thought I'd share that with you. That's a pretty nice point. Looks like Kanawha black material. Maybe a local chert. Here's a few things that I didn't show just because they were broken or not very good examples. There's a broken preform. This would have been the beginning start of making an arrowhead. They round it up and then refine it down even further. Found this would have been another stem base broken right off. As I was just explaining, bases break a lot. I don't know what this would have been. It's a broken point. I can see a base here and probably a notch right there. And we got one hematite stone, which wasn't bad. It's faceted all around, and you can even see they've rubbed this trying to get that pigment out, clear down to the iron in there. A lot of iron in this piece, very heavy. We'll go over hematite stones and what they were used for maybe on my next video. Well, that's going to do it for me. If you like this one, hit the thumbs up. Consider subscribing. We'll catch you on the next one.